Hi guys, this video is what I promised you last week about complaining, patience, and hopefully we reach gratitude. Throughout my journey, I noticed that complaining basically benefits me nothing. It's just a resistance, unnecessary resistance. I didn't understand how to deal with it. I realized that patience is my ally. So I usually like to start with the negative and the good and then the best. So I'll start with complaining. First, I want to define them as I understand them. So I will define complaining in my own understanding. My understanding to complaining is basically, I'll give you an example like this is my living experience. I want to improve my health, my life, right? Okay, I really want that. And there's a necessary action to do to improve your life. For example, I gotta sleep early for 9 hours every night, consistent. So that's a clear goal, right? Or should I say, sorry, clear action, necessary action to improve my life. So, what do I say if I'm still complaining? I say, really, man? Sometimes I fall asleep, like I try to sleep, but it takes like an hour or two. How can I sleep consistently 2 hours? Plus, it's so boring, like sit in the bed for like hour and a half, and like I don't see how it can happen. That's a complaining mindset. Like you didn't even try, you didn't even search yet, you're still complaining. The other part is that you actually start doing it, going to bed early, and have like a half an hour or an hour to prime yourself, to prepare yourself to sleep. But while you're doing that, you're still complaining, oh my god, it's so long. I wish I can sleep in like 10 minutes and that's it. Just in 10 minutes I fall asleep, and so on. That's a complaining mindset. Like I don't see how it makes sense. You know it's worth it. You know currently that's how it works. And you know it's worth it even if you put a whole hour into it to prepare yourself to fall asleep. Yet you're still complaining? It doesn't make sense to me. To me, deeper understanding, so now we have defined it, hopefully. Now I want to go into the deeper cause of complaining. Complaining to me is already saying you as a person not really trying to improve. What it's saying is like, okay, I want to be healthy, but I don't want to do anything to get healthy. I just want it, like, okay, that's it. Yeah, I prefer to be healthy, but if there's any unnecessary action, if there's any action that's hard, I won't do it. That's one. Two is that you are lying to yourself, to your own conscience. Like, you tell yourself, like, hey, I tried, but it was way too hard. So your conscience calms down and doesn't like really annoy the heck out of you. The other part is that you are setting yourself up as an excuse for when you fail, or should I say when you give up rather than you fail, because the fact you're complaining already saying that you're not really intending to keep going. So if I say it's hard, it's boring, it's really hard, it's almost not doable, how can people do it, and so on, if you give up, it makes sense. Like, yeah, it was so hard, or at least that's what you tell yourself. It was so hard, it was impossible. So what do? That's it. You don't do it and you give up and you have an excuse. Even if it's a fake excuse, it's better than no excuse. Because no excuse, that means you are saying the truth. And when you say the truth, eventually I think you can't help but improve yourself. So that's complaining. At its essence, it's basically saying, I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth it. The sacrifice, the investment I'm doing for my future life. Because if you really think it might not work, or not just might not work, probably won't work, you'll be more inclined to complain, right? Rather than, okay, let's keep going, let's do it, because you think it's gonna fail, so I should complain. So how do we deal with it? Like, how do we stop complaining? Is it simply just straight up shutting up? Maybe that works for someone. I mean, I do use it to straight up just denying myself complaining. There's no point, don't complain. But there's more powerful way, in my opinion, and that is to ask yourself honestly, truthfully, as much as you can, and precisely, do you think what you are doing is worth it? Whether it's be fasting, whether it's be studying, whether it's being going to sleep early, do you really think that it's worth it? If the answer to that is yes, genuinely yes, not just like, oh yeah, no, yes, completely present, honest, yes, you will immediately notice that you will complain way less. Also, another note, the very answer to that question is similar to having a weapon, or should I say a shield, to fight and defend yourself against complaining. Because now you have no excuse. I really think it's worth it. If you think it's worth it genuinely, then you have to do it. As simple as that. And complaining increases the chance and to fail, lowers your willpower, lowers your focus for the task. So you will naturally not complain. So that probably will help a lot. So ask yourself often, what am I doing? Is it worth it or not? The plan I'm thinking, sticking to it consistently. Do I really think it's worth it or not? If the answer is yes, then you will complain way less, in my own experience. So often ask yourself that. So now we are done with the complaining. Let's go with patience. Patience, my own definition for it, is basically the absence of complaining. Eventually, when you stop complaining, you will be called a patient person. You know? Okay, I got a fast to improve my health. I want to improve my health. What do I do? What are the ways to improve my health? Okay, fasting. Okay, I can only fast for 15 hours for now. After that, it becomes so hard and I start to be anxious. Okay, let's start gradually, 15 hours. That's it. Oh my god, it's so hard. Oh, it's so boring. You don't say anything like that. And you're not necessarily grateful, thankful. Oh my god, nice. We have an option to be healthier. No. You're simply focusing at the task. You have a goal, I want to be healthier. You have a task, necessary action to do to get healthier. Fasting. Alright, you start implementing fasting. For example, when you take a cold shower, you say, oh my god, it's so cold. Fuck, it's so cold. Like, oh my god, why am I doing this? All these questions basically, in a way, says that you are not prepared mentally. You see, like, when you enter a fight, if you are actually a professional fighter, there's a stance that you have to get to enter the fight. You can't just like stand like this, or stand like this, or stand like this. You have to take the correct stance, right? Offensive stance, defensive stance, whatever, but a correct stance. So mentally, before you do something uncomfortable and hard like cold shower, you have to take a mental stance. Patience is basically the stance, and gratitude, thankfulness and gratitude is also another stance. Help. So patience is basically, before you take the cold shower, you ask yourself, do you think it's worth it? Genuinely. And then you answer genuinely and say yes. Then you have no reason to complain. And then, since you ask yourself that, you're already imagining, in a way, preparing yourself that I already gonna take a cold bath. So it's not like a surprise to take a cold bath. So when it's cold, you will just take a deep breath and actually focus yourself. deep breaths and relax to compose yourself under pressure, rather than complaining and saying, "Oh my God, it's so cold and so," because you entered the uncomfortable situation with the correct mental stance. So you're balanced. So you are balanced. You are more likely to land a shot and defend yourself. So, but it's also taking the correct stance takes up energy, takes up focus, takes investment. It's easier to not be composed and just like go into the situation unconsciously, right? But you will suffer the consequence. But you are investing in the correct stance and then entering, and it will pay back by so little suffering. So that is patience, basically the absence of complaining. So you do the same thing about asking yourself genuinely and so on. Simply, they are the same, how should I say, two sides of the same coin, the positive one and the negative. And now, gratitude, or should I say thankfulness, my own definition for it. We see patience is the absence of complaint, and thankfulness is the opposite of complaint. You set up a goal, I want to get healthier. What is the necessary action to be healthier? Fasting. Before you even do anything, the fact that you found something that you believe is gonna get you to your goal is already a reason for you to be thankful. I have an option to improve my life, right? What if in another world, fasting doesn't help, exercise doesn't help, eating healthy doesn't help? That's it, you're just stuck with it. If your health decreases, it just decreases, it doesn't increase, right? We can't imagine that. So that's one of the reasons why you should be thankful, and it will help you. Positive emotion. 2, you see the good things about fasting. That's free. You can do it. You don't have to pay money. You don't have to go somewhere or special. You just have not to eat for 16 hours, for example. And you can go all the way up to 24 hours every day. And that's pretty safe for you. You don't need like medical attention to focus. 2, it's a freeze. Give you extra time and give you extra money because you don't eat as much, and you save time because you don't cook and eat. So you see the good things in the very necessary action. And before you see the good things about the action is the very fact that you are thankful that there is an option you can choose from to improve your life or to get to the goal that you want to get to. So it's very opposite. So it will take some time to train, especially if you are used to complaining. That means you are subconscious and all of you trained, used to, when it sees good and bad, focus on the bad. So you take it a little bit step by step by being patient. You see the good and the bad, and you don't focus on either. And then, after you get used to that, patience, basically absence of complaint, you be thankful. You see the good, you see the bad, you see the good, you see the bad, and then you focus on the good. So it's a step-by-step process. And then lastly is gratitude. My own definition, I find them to be different. Mostly people refer to gratitude, like use the word gratitude, to my own understanding, the same as thankfulness. Oh my God, I'm thankful that I have money, for example. To me, that's good. That's called thankfulness. Gratitude is the fact I feel so healthy and I'm thankful for that, and I want to be grateful for it. So what do? I do something good with my own health. For example, I don't know, play with the kids, for example. If you see an old lady, old man that's carrying stuff, you carry it for him. Do something useful with your health, or not useful, good for others. To me, that's the meaning, my own definition of gratitude. So you can be healthy and thankful for your health, but but not necessarily grateful yet, because grateful is an action. I'm thankful to be wealthy, and I want to be grateful. What do? I use some of that wealth to charity. I use some of that wealth to buy gifts to my own family and relatives, for example. I use some of that money to build hospitals because I'm so wealthy and so on. So that's gratitude. And yeah, that wraps up this video. I hope you found it useful, and please comment below points that I forgot about, like interesting point, because this is my own definition. I don't know the exact correct words and so on. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to releasing another video next week. I hope you found this one useful and helpful. Thanks for watching. Peace.